Hello, everyone. Welcome to the CarAlarm podcast. My name is Alex,
And I'm Gavin.
and today we're going to review Monday Night Raw from July 3rd, 2017. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So the show opens with Enzo Amore addressing Big Cass from last week. His attack. There's some crickets, I think, chirping in the background.
Just ignore them if you
I don't know
hear
if the
them.
mic's even picking it up. Enzo comes out and says, for 5 years, Cass has never had his back. He sat back and watched Enzo get beaten up time after time. He says he's grateful for numerous things and that Cass is nothing more than a 7-foot catchphrase that he wrote.
I liked that. I liked that line.
Yeah, me too. It's kind of true too, in a sense, because Enzo Amore really does everything on the microphone himself. You can kind of tell he writes all his material, and Cass's probably. Cass just says soft.
I think pretty much Enzo made Cass's character.
Yeah, I'd say
Probably was.
And Carmella's.
90% of his character.
Carmella didn't have anything either. She was a hairstylist. Kayfabe, of course, but did you know that? Did you know when she started?
I didn't know that.
Enzo and Cass were in a rivalry with two French superstars on NXT. I don't know what their tag team name was, but they were in a hair versus hair match, tag team match.
Hair versus hair match.
Yeah, and I don't remember who won or lost, but they ended up going to Carmella for some hair cream. I think in case they won, like a bucket of it, and it ended up getting dumped on a dog, I think.
On a dog.
And yeah, and then the dog was like naked, and then Carmella got fired, so she went with him. That was her introduction into the thing. It was whatever. I don't know. It was a better introduction than a lot of other NXT people that come up now because they just randomly appear instead of they're not written in, you know, which is fine. But so Enzo begins to leave, but he picks the mic back up and says he isn't done because Cass knocked new life into him. And he needs to take revenge. Cass is backstage and says that he's where the money is just before Enzo Amore attacks him from behind, and the two are broken up by Finlay and some random referees.
I was expecting Enzo to attack him, but like when he just like
he hit him really hard. Yeah,
and it was terrifying.
He just kind of threw himself onto him with his forearm going into his neck. It looked good. Enzo's gonna lose though, I think.
I hope not.
That match was on the card, right?
I think so.
Okay. So the next segment we have is Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. Just a random tag match because why not? Because we don't know what to do with the women, so we're just gonna put them in tag matches every week and hope someone starts caring. During the commercial break, Bayley was slammed into the barricade by Nia Jax and taken out of the match.
That made her look. I didn't like it.
Was it legit?
I don't know.
If it wasn't legit, that might be the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, I don't think it was. I think it was planned.
I feel like
it looked planned, but
yeah, it did. But so Sasha Banks knocks Nia Jax off the apron and then gets in her bank statement on Alexa Bliss and then wins by submission.
Yeah.
On the champion in a handicap match. So if that wasn't planned, that's the most retarded booking I've ever seen of the women, and that's really saying something for the past few weeks. It makes Sasha Banks look amazing, and Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss look absolutely awful, and it looks Bayley looks insignificant.
Like a child.
Yeah. She looks like a child every week, but that's kind of her character. Anything you want to say on that? I don't have anything to say about that.
Besides, it was stupid.
No. It was dumb.
I didn't like it at all.
Next, there was a video package to hype up Lesnar and Joe. It basically just hyped up both men and recounted the events from the past few weeks between the two. It was a cool little package. Showed some snapshots of Samoa Joe with the Ring of Honor Championship.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like how they're now referencing and acknowledging other promotions now.
Yeah, and it said Pro Wrestling Illustrated at the bottom, too. Not often they actually refer to them as professional wrestling, which is sad. But whatever. Next, we had Cedric Alexander. He came out to say that the drama with Foxy and Noam Dar is over. And then he calls out Dar.
Obviously, it's not.
Yeah, well, I hope it is. I think I've had enough. I think Alexander needs to move on to something, and Dar and Foxy can go back to Rich Swann. Is he injured?
I don't know.
I think he's injured. Cedric Alexander wins with a lumbar check in like a 5 or 6 minute match. Nothing really special. It was fine.
I liked how Noah Dar was actually got to do something
Yeah.
instead of just like a 10-second match.
And say Alicia Fox. He says that all the time. That's his thing. People like that. I like that. Anything to say about the cruiserweights?
Besides the fact that Noam Dar looks incredibly weak right now.
Yeah. Well, he's never looked strong. Yeah, they really did.
should.
He tried to cheat like twice and failed, and then got the lumbar check and lost clean. They had 2 segments this week in the cruiserweights. We'll get to the second one later. But that's the first for the past like month, I think. 2 segments and both were longer than 2 minutes. That's impressive.
We're getting somewhere in the world.
Yeah. Next up is Miz TV. I think probably a part of what was supposed to happen last week on Miz TV, because last week's Miz TV was an absolute catastrophe with those 2 with the Big Baller brand guys. This week, Miz is in the ring with Maurice and his Miztourage. I got it right this time.
Good job.
He says Dean Ambrose can't handle success, and basically just ends up calling him a joke. Before Dean Ambrose enters, challenges Miz to an Intercontinental Championship match. When Slater and Rhino come out, and Slater says that he was the last person to beat the Miz and that he deserves an Intercontinental Championship match. So, Kurt Angle comes out, tells Ambrose he's getting his shot at the Intercontinental title at Great Balls of Fire, no matter who's champion. And Miz will have a match with Slater tonight for the Intercontinental Championship.
I'm glad Slater actually got a title shot for the first time since he won the tag titles.
Yeah. I think that's his. Is this his first singles title shot ever?
Yeah.
He didn't answer. Did he answer the open challenge for Cena at all ever?
I don't think so. I think he was going to, and then like someone interrupted him and said, "Nope, go away."
Oh,
and then beat him up and threw him away.
Yeah, that sounds like what would happen to Heath Slater. Okay, that's fine. The match was pretty good. It was a lot longer than I expected.
Yeah,
I thought
it was a legit match.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Which is surprising with Heath Slater. Yeah, it was good. The Miz ends up winning thanks to a distraction by the Miztourage. Miz during the match, the Miz was wearing a full suit because he wasn't ready for in-ring action, as they said. So he ended up just wearing the undershirt or the dress shirt with no undershirt and some pants and a belt. And it slowly got absolutely destroyed throughout the entire match.
Those pants got broken.
Yep, the pants got ripped completely down the butt crack, and the shirt was torn completely off by the end. He looked like he just walked off the street after getting mugged. I liked it, though.
I liked how when Slater got thrown out of the ring, and then Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel came up to attack him, and Rhino just came back like, "Back up, boys." I loved that.
Rhino's great. He really should be doing something better. I mean, I like him with Slater, but they should be booked better.
Yes, they should.
He should be back on SmackDown. There's something weirdly appealing about damage progression throughout a match. I think maybe that's why Blood is partially so satisfying. Because it's a visual representation of what they've gone through throughout the match, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the battle damage on the Miz was really nice to me. It made my little stomach and heart happy. So Ambrose goes to save Slater after the match because the Miztourage begins to jump him, but his efforts end up being for nothing.
He gets mugged.
Yeah, he gets mugged by the Miz and the Miztourage, and they stand tall. And finally, Maurice kisses the Miz again. After weeks of her being angry at him, she finally kisses him again, and they're back together, which is great.
Finally get a happy ending for once.
Yeah, well, for Miz and Maurice. Not for anyone else. Ambrose still doesn't look very strong.
I still like him, though.
Yeah, well, I don't care if he's there or not anymore.
I do.
Maybe once the Shield reforms, which probably will happen, I have to say, eventually.
I want it to.
Ready to move on?
As long as they're still as good as they were. Yes.
I'm sure they will be. So, we come back from commercial break to see Goldust sitting in the ring in a director's chair to premiere The Shattered Truth, which ended up just being a highly edited version of a replay from last week, which was very disappointing to me.
Yeah, I wanted to see, like, The full
something.
everything.
Yeah. It
Like the full story.
Yeah, that's like from what was it, like a year and a half ago when they started getting together?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought it would be too. But no, it was pretty garbage. Very underwhelming considering how much they built this up. After the little 1-minute video, R-Truth was behind Goldust and attacked him, sent him outside of the ring, and that was the end of their segment.
I wanted it to be more.
I think everyone did.
Because I like R-Truth. I like Goldust. And I just wanted it to be something more. I wanted that film to be...
I feel like you could say that about a lot of things in WWE. Like, I don't know, the women's division. Cruiserweight. On every kickoff. Kalisto. He's on Raw, right?
Yes.
Jesus, that's sad.
I think he got broken, though, by Braun.
Yeah, but...
I think that's why he's not around anymore. I think he got broken.
Like, legit injured?
Probably. Or kayfabe injured.
If it's kayfabe injured, that's stupid, because they're not doing anything with him anyway. What's the point of fake injuring him? And if he's actually injured, I hadn't heard about that. Which sucks. Why'd they even draft him to Raw if they're not going to put him on 205 Live?
Reasons.
Okay. Yes, that's all.
Let's just move on.
All right. Next is Seth Rollins versus Kurt Hawkins.
Why is this guy still around?
I don't know. Fire him. Let him go.
They went from knockoff Chuck Norris jokes to
just...
I don't even know what he's does now.
I don't either, but at least it's not that Chuck Norris jokes.
That's really why I started hating him.
Yeah, it was really dumb. He just asked the crowd who thinks he's gonna win and who thinks he's gonna lose, and no one really reacts. I think as much as he wants them to. It doesn't matter because the match was one move. It was a dodged clothesline by Rollins and then a Rainmaker knee, which I still don't know what to call it. I was listening closely this time. They don't have a name for it yet. And then Rollins got the win. And then he got the mic and threatened to beat up Wyatt at Great Balls of Fire, basically.
Because Wyatt is nowhere to be found. Ever.
No. Oh, no, we find him later on. We find him. We'll get to that in a little while. We found him. We know where he is. You want to move on from that? Because there's another Wyatt segment later. We can talk about that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Next, there is a split-screen interview with Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar, which I thought was the best part of the night.
I love this.
So Michael Cole kind of introduces both men, and then Joe just immediately cuts him off and starts trash-talking Brock Lesnar. They banter back and forth for a while before Joe gets frustrated, takes his little headset off, takes the mic off from his shirt, and just walks off through the halls, yelling for Brock Lesnar. He finally gets to the door, opens it, sees Lesnar. Lesnar stands up, but the security pulls Joe back. Lesnar does nothing.
I don't think Lesnar cared.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm sure. I don't think they would have gotten very far anyway. Lesnar couldn't do much. If he would have jumped on him like he did with Taker, you know how they run and jump?
Yeah.
His head would have hit that doorway.
Yeah.
He would have been knocked out. Or just bleeding like Goldberg was the one night.
I don't think Brock would have cared at that point, though. Just get up, blood gushing down his face. Like, let's fight, boy. Let's go.
Joe wouldn't either. They both bled a lot in the ring. They're both really tough. This match is going to be amazing.
I like how when Joe was addressing Heyman, and then Brock's like, hey, no, you're fighting me.
Yeah,
don't talk to him.
Usually Lesnar doesn't speak.
I liked it.
I liked it too. I was a little worried for him that he would stumble or something, because he always does. He cannot pick up a microphone, Lesnar, but this was good. I liked it.
Him and Heyman were working on it for a while.
Probably. Either that or it was a pre-tape. They could have pre-taped just Lesnar's thing.
True.
Or they could have pre-taped both of them and then just had them waiting in the room until Joe was ready to leave. Which is fine. Yeah. I don't care.
It was good.
Yeah, it was. But that's all they had today. And then that was the end of their thing until Great Ball of Fire.
Which is Sunday, isn't it?
Yes. Next, we have Neville versus Mustafa Ali. This was a really good match.
Yes, it was.
Mustafa Ali hit a couple of really cool moves. I'm trying to remember them. what did he do? He did really cool things. I should have written them down, but I didn't. Let's just say Mustafa Ali's really cool. I forgot to write down the cool parts of the match. And it was a good match. And Mustafa Ali should get a push on 205 Live sooner or later.
He can use it now.
I mean, he kind of already does have a little bit of one.
Where's Jack?
He's the only babyface foreign person in WWE.
Where's Jack Gallagher?
I don't know. Last I saw him, he lost a title match for the UK title on NXT.
I mean, I love Jack Gallagher.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch 205 Live, so I don't know if he's on there or not.
I don't either.
I don't know if you can ask where he's at.
Okay, why isn't he on Raw?
I don't know, what's he gonna be doing?
I don't know, fighting Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, whatever. I don't. They're both baby faces.
He can fight Cedric Alexander.
They're both baby faces.
So, fight a feud for #1 contendership spot.
Oh, well, sure. I think they should just do a triple threat with those three in it.
There you go.
And just do it on 205 Live. Next up, we have Bray Wyatt coming to us from a desert.
I'm gonna say it's the New Mexico desert.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, well there were cactuses. That's the plural.
It's cacti.
No, and they were out there he was out there to cut a promo, and of course it's the usual Bray Wyatt promo where you don't understand anything it says.
Now, I listened to it, and this one was less mystical.
It was comprehensible, but
It was less. It was half him talking about being everywhere as a god and saying like I'm fighting the sun, and like other half was I'm gonna mess you up at Great Balls of Fire, Seth.
Yeah.
It was both of those just put together. It was.
But really, you just need 2 sentences. And he used a lot of random words that I feel like didn't really matter. I don't know why he was in a desert. And I don't know why he ended up yelling for Seth Rollins in the middle of a desert, as if Rollins was anywhere near.
He was in the desert just because to show that the sun is evil and he kills everything. That's it. That's...
What?
He says like the sun's a sadistic...
Yeah, I know, but...
being, and that he was using the desert to like show that the sun just kills everybody.
Yeah, I get that, but why?
I don't know, because he's the darkness and the
cares?
chaos. Obviously, Bray cares. He wants to fight the sun.
It feels so random, though. Just random. You have Seth Rollins, okay? And then you have Bray Wyatt, the most mystical, if you will, guy. For some reason, just throwing all these weird little phrases at him. Like, the sun god, this is really hot outside today. I'm a nightman myself. How's that relevant at all to Rollins?
I don't...
Why is he not in a feud with Finn Balor? He should be talking about drawing out Balor's demon or something.
I don't know.
What is this? I'm so frustrated. Seth Rollins means a lot to me, Gavin. I need him to be doing something I care about.
Seth is... I like Bray, but... I don't understand.
I don't like him.
I don't understand.
Normally I'll be like, you know what, he's fine. No, I'm done now. I'm done. I don't like him. I don't like him anymore. I will stick to that. I don't like Bray Wyatt. You want to move on?
Yeah.
Next match is Finn Balor versus Cesaro. And before the match, earlier on in the night, they had a little backstage thing with Kurt Angle, where Angle made Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Hardys a 30-minute Iron Man match at Great Balls of Fire. Any thoughts on that?
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. It should be. I've never seen an Iron Man tag team match. Have you?
I haven't either. They said it's pretty rare, so I think it only happened like twice before.
Probably.
And probably one of them had Ric Flair.
Why? Just because?
Ric Flair is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, was.
He was.
Now he's just senile.
Yeah, now he's just a crazy old man. Walks around, yells at people in restaurants and airports, apparently.
I bet he's the guy that screams, "Get off my lawn."
I don't know. I don't think he ever goes home, Gavin. During the match, Samson distracts Finn Balor. Doesn't work. He grabs Balor's leg, knocks him down. But right after that, the Hardys come down, and they all start brawling outside of the ring, and they barely manage to avoid a disqualification, because no one hits Cesaro or Balor except for each other. And Balor ends up getting the coup de grace for the win on Cesaro, despite several interferences. So, that's cool.
I liked that.
Me too. I don't think Cesaro needed the clean win, considering he's in a tag team. So, it made Balor look really good, and Cesaro look strong, too.
I like how Balor won, and I like the fact that, he's not like everybody else. Someone comes out, ooh, let's look at them. What are they doing? Everybody does.
He saw him before the crowd saw him. He, looked over there, out the corner of his eye. He just seen something. He's like, that's Elias Samson. He's my enemy. It felt good. It was like, oh, what do you see, Finn? And then they looked over there. You wanted to know what's happening. And that's unusual, because usually everything's so predictable. And I know it's a really small thing, but I like that.
It felt good.
Also, Goldust, I didn't mention this because I forgot that it happened, but Goldust looked at Videotron and saw that R-Truth was behind him and turned around and threw the chair at him. Now, R-Truth didn't sell it, but I just thought that was really cool of Goldust to do. I like when they do that because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you know there's a gigantic video screen recording the entire arena at all times, why would you not look up there before you turn around if you know you have an enemy that's probably going to jump you from behind?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
It was really...
I liked it. Goldust is great. You ready to move on to the main event, I believe? Yeah. So, Strowman issued an open challenge earlier on in the night. And also earlier on, Titus O'Neil tried to convince Apollo Crews to answer it. And apparently he was successful because Titus O'Neil comes out, basically says this is Strowman's greatest opponent yet. Pretty much. On a little bit of a lesser scale.
I love Titus O'Neil as a manager.
Yeah, he's good at hyping up Apollo Crews.
He's a good hype man.
Yeah. So Crews comes out and they have a match. A pretty good match, actually. I liked it. One notable thing I wrote, the most notable perhaps from the entire segment, Crews goes for a standing moonsault on Braun Strowman. You already know what I'm talking about here?
Yes, I do.
And Strowman just cannon kicks him. I don't know how else to describe it. Out of the air, while he's kind of in midair about to moonsault him, and he just flies to the ropes, lands right on his neck.
That was
horrifying.
Yeah, Oh, that was so painful.
It did.
It was so good too.
I think if Crews didn't have such a meaty neck, he'd probably be in some trouble. But he's got a thick neck and some good traps on him. It looked like he landed safe, but
I thought he was dead.
Yeah. He sold it like he died. His body just didn't move afterwards. After that, O'Neil didn't really hit anything else ever. Strowman delivered 3 power slams. After each one, he kind of pinned him and then lifted him up like in the video game. He wasn't done. He delivered a total of 3. Won the match and then went for a 4th before Titus O'Neil stepped in to defend Apollo Crews. But Strowman ended up getting him in a power slam too. He grabbed Apollo Crews off the apron, kind of carried him, but not really carried him, even though he should have.
He just dragged him.
He video game carried him, where he holds his head and they walk together.
Yeah.
Which does not look good in real life, especially when you're Apollo Crews. You just got kicked out of the air and power slammed 3 times, which at this point, I think is Braun Strowman's finisher. So he should be dead.
Yeah,
he should have to be carried.
Some broke ribs.
Broke lips. So he puts Crews in the back of the ambulance after he carries him through the crowd for some reason. And then he slaps the ambulance to go away. The sirens go on. They go off. Slaps it again. He goes to the front of the ambulance. Looks in the window. Now, here's what I had a problem with. He looks in the window. He backs up. Then he opens the door and Roman Reigns is inside. Did Roman just duck below the window door? He just hide? He's like, oh no, he's looking. You gotta hide from him.
I think they were trying to sell, nobody knows, or everybody thinks the windows are tinted.
They clearly weren't.
Yeah, but
you could see straight through them. If Strowman looked in there, you could see Roman's big ass anywhere in it. It's a 2-seat cab.
I don't know. I think they were just trying to make us think, oh, he can't see, windows are tinted, or it's too dark, or, Roman's invisible.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt's covering him.
He just got a cloak on.
Yeah.
Just takes it off and runs out and attacks Strowman. Anyway, they fight. Strowman throws him on stage again. Goes to throw him on the ambulance again. Fails. They end up fighting to the little Minitron, I guess. The ribcage of the Megatron, we'll call it. And then he ends up, Strowman gets a little groggy right at the end of the stage, and Reigns spears him off the stage through 2 tables. And that's it.
I liked it.
Me too. It looked good. Strowman stood up afterwards. The show was going off. Strowman just stood straight up, so that was cool. And that's the close of the show. Do you have any predictions real quick before we actually go to the predictions video? Or
No, I'm gonna save them all.
All right. So you want to close the show?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can follow us on Twitter at CarAlarm Podcast.
And on Facebook, if you type in the little search bar at Sounding CarAlarm, you'll just find our page there.
Thanks for watching. Bye bye.